All right, here we go. Welcome to 0 to 60. I'm your host, Matt McChesney. As always, we are down here at the lab at 60 Football Academy. Today's show is going to be short and sweet. We're going to get to the point where you're going to get in and we're going to get out. Lots to talk about, so let's not waste any time fucking around, all right? Like always, our good friends at BetOnline bring you 0 to 60, and they do a great job each and every show of bringing you the show. Remember to go to BetOnline, use them for all of your wagering news and notes, whether it's Major League Baseball, golf, horse racing, or the NHL and NBA playoffs, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. Use BetOnline for all of your wagering news and notes to make sure you're getting good numbers and making sure you're maximizing your money. Remember, you can put in a nice little chunk of change. They'll match it 50% on your first deposit. So use the promo code BLEAV and they'll hook you up. BetOnline brings you 0 to 60 on a Wednesday. All right, we roll. The Denver Nuggets last night showed everybody why they are the Denver fucking Nuggets. I mean, they absolutely showed up and showed out. I was damn impressed with Nikola Jokic and everything he brought to the table. 40 fucking points. I mean, unbelievable play by the three-time MVP. Look, man, I think they're going to be hard to beat. They've won 3 in a row. Look, Jokic, I know some folks think he's boring, and Lil Wayne came out and said he's boring, and yeah, winning sometimes is boring as shit, and they've looked real boring the last 3 games. And Anthony Edwards has kind of, disappeared, and they've really put the clamps down on him, and Rudy Gobert cannot handle Nikola Jokic, and we knew that going in, and it's been the case. Aaron Gordon is the X factor here for the Nugs. He's been playing his ass off. The man of the people, number 50. He's going to be a huge reason why they repeat. I think the Nugs have a real chance to close this out in Minnesota. The TWolves are on their last life, losing 3 in a row for the first time in the year. That's got to hurt their feelings. But look, they're competitors. I'd imagine that, they're going to show up and try and show out and force a Game 7 back here in Denver. But even if it is a Game 7, I feel pretty good that Denver's going to be able to go in and take care of business. So unbelievable game last night. Denver's up 3-2. We'll see what happens in the other Western Conference semifinal between Dallas and OKC. They're tied at 2. And in the East, it looks like it's going to be Boston and the Knicks, and that's going to be a pretty good series. Watched the Knicks game yesterday. Jalen Brunson went for 44. That guy's a fucking animal. Pretty cool that the Knicks have DiVincenzo and the forward guy, I think Ford's his name, and then Jalen Brunson. They all played at fucking Nova together back in the day, and now they're all with the Knicks and kicking ass. So that's pretty cool. So we'll see all that goes. But remember, Super Chats and the subs are open on Twitter and on Twitch, or on YouTube and Twitch, excuse me. Redman0610 over on Twitch. Morning, Big Mac. Good morning, brother. How are you? Welcome to the show. My man Andre Duke. What up, Big Mac? What up, bro? How are you? So look, lots to talk about here today. The Nuggets are one of the many topics. The next couple of topics I wanted to talk about here are, the openers here for the Buffs. Okay, now the North Dakota State game is going to be a Thursday night, August 28th or something like that. That is on ESPN national TV. And then week 2 in Lincoln is 7:30 Eastern on NBC, night game, Colorado at Nebraska. So that's going to be a fucking unbelievable game also. And I guarantee you that Colorado State will be nationally televised. I mean, if that game's not nationally televised, I'd be shocked. So you're talking about the first 3 games being nationally televised like they were last year. And all 3 of them will be at night too. Colorado State will be a night game. So, can't see you go out and start 3-0. We'll see. The North Dakota State game. Look, Colorado or Nebraska and Colorado State don't scare me. I know what those games are going to be. Those are rivalry games. They're going to be, slobber knockers. You better bring your big boy pants to those. The North Dakota State game scares the shit out of me because they routinely walk into big time programs and just absolutely mollywop people and really are a tough game. And they run the hell out of the ball and they're really physical. They've got NFL players on their roster and they have a lot of pride and they're going to be a tough out. So that's a good opener. You prefer a cakewalk on that one, but hey man, you're going to get pushed. That's for sure. You're going to be ready to go to Lincoln and ready to go to Fort Collins after you play them. And hopefully CU goes out and puts it on them and makes a statement on that Thursday night game, and there's no struggling. But knowing college football, I'm sure that, we'll see. The Nebraska game, 7:30 in Lincoln, Eastern in Lincoln, so 5:30 kick here in Denver. That's going to be awesome, man. A Nebraska-Colorado game at night. I don't know if it's ever happened. I don't know if we've ever had a night game, Colorado, Nebraska. So I know that a couple of their games have ended at night. The 62-36 game ended when the sun was going down, but it wasn't kicked off at night. It was like a noon or a 1 o'clock kickoff. Every other game I ever played against them was a 10 or 11 a.m. kickoff. The game in 2018 where Sean Tufts and I were on the sideline for that one, that was an 11 a.m. kickoff. The next year in Folsom, where Montez hit Katie Nixon on the flea flicker, that was an 11 a.m. kickoff. And then last year was an 11 a.m. kickoff. So the fact that it's a night game is pretty fucking dope. The first night game in the series. So that'd be pretty cool. And look, Lincoln is incredible. That fucking place rocks. It's going to be, filled to the brim for that one. There's no love lost there between GBR and Go Buffs, obviously. So I really can't wait for the game. And, man, there's no better feeling than winning in that building and having all those Nebraska fans just look at you and say, good game. Because they are so nice after you beat them. It's almost bad being mean to them. No, I take that back. It's pretty easy to be mean to them when you win in that building. And you're leaving. The last time in 2018, Tufts and I were on the sideline and in the locker room the whole time, so we weren't in the stands. And after the game, we just walked out, and everybody we talked to was good game, good game, good game, good game. And we had all the Nebraska people trying to fight us, and like the cops had to escort us to our car. It felt good. I had an awesome time. So we'll see how all that goes. But the first three are going to be big time before they start the conference schedule with the opener, which is the Baylor game. From SPSD, seems like every time people talk about CU and North Dakota State, they speak about the past. CU is a different team physically, and does anyone know anything about the North Dakota State players? No, I don't know shit about the North Dakota State players, and I don't really know anything about CU's players either, other than the established ones that everyone knows about because of all the turnover. I know what North Dakota State, though, is as a program. So that's what I'm saying. Their culture, the way they do things, the way they run the football, it's going to be a good test regardless. So if you take them lightly, that's exactly what they want, is for people to take them lightly. So please do not take them lightly. That would not be good. From Redman 0610, you're going to be at the Nebraska game. You're damn straight, brother. I will be there with bells on. I can't wait. Obviously I'm a Buff and I have a great relationship with them up there. And, it's crazy, but I've kind of built a good relationship with the people in Lincoln as well. And Coach Rule came out and really, I take my hat off to him for doing the body bag testimonial the way he did and being able to use that content. It's, anything to help the business. So I really appreciate that. But that game meant a lot to me when I was growing up. My whole family's from the state of Nebraska. So, it felt good to be on teams that turned the tide against them in that rivalry. I'm kind of sad that it's the last game we're going to play for a while. Hopefully they can figure out a way to keep this game going because I know both fan bases, regardless of how they feel about each other, you want to play each other each and every year. That's for damn sure. In fact, I'm going to play this right now, and I want everybody to just take a second and understand just how cool this is if somebody would take their time in Coach Rule's profession to help somebody out like this. So check this out. This is the 60 Body Bag. Check it out, 60equipment.com.
This is Matt Rule over at Nebraska, man. I just want to take a moment to thank you for putting us on this 60 Body Bag, man. It's been an unbelievable tool for us. I get a lot of feedback, a lot of questions from coaches sometimes about, why we like it so much. And I think besides the safety of it, besides the width and girth of it, I think the thing that I like, especially as a former defensive line coach, is, there's two parts to playing defensive line and using your hands, as you know. Number one is building the strike and the punch to knock a 300-pounder back. And so obviously many times we'll use, like we use here, we'll use the sleds, but you don't have to time your punch on a sled. And so it's always been this juxtaposition of, hey, I'm going to work on the sled, I'm going to strike, so that I'm striking something with surface area and girth and some physicality to it. But at the same time, I want that shield to move. I want that bag to move, so I'm going to use a shield.
So pretty fucking cool that Coach Rule would come out and advocate for a tool that they use over there in Lincoln. Pretty funny story. Right when about a year ago, almost, we started the company 60equipment.com, and right when I started reaching out to everybody I know in the community, literally everyone, the Broncos bought some bags, and Hank Fraley with the Lions bought a couple, and Purdue and Coach Walters. And before we even sold any, Coach Rule calls me and goes, hey, did Colorado buy bags yet? And I was like, no, I'm actually taking them up to Schmitty tomorrow, the equipment guy, the assistant athletic director, who's a fucking animal, Mike Smith up there in Boulder, who is Colorado football. I was like, no, I'm bringing them up tomorrow. They haven't bought any yet. And he goes, okay, we'll take 5. So I was like, fuck, man, here we go. The competition knows no ends. So look, this rivalry, regardless about how people feel about each other in the fan bases, because Nebraska fans and Colorado fans are not friends. We are neighbors, and they should play every year. And both fan bases want this to happen. And it's good for college football when it does happen. And it's a good rivalry, and it's in the middle of the country, and it needs to be played every year. So I'd like to figure out a way to make this happen. I mean, I don't know how the fuck they do, but there's a lot of Nebraska guys that I know. Adam Carricker is a one that, I've been on his show many times. He's been on my show. He's on Believe Network as well. He's a great pro, played for the Redskins for a long time. His son is about the same age as my son, played against each other this year. And Adam is always talking about how we need to play this game every year. So, I mean, I obviously want to play it every year because we've been winning so much recently. It's been like 4,500 days or some shit since Nebraska's beaten CU. So I'll take that. That makes me pretty happy. But we'll see how it goes. That night game in Lincoln is going to be fucking dope. The first time ever that CU and Nebraska will play at night. So that's going to be really fucking cool. Remember, the subs and the super chats are open on YouTube and on Twitch. Like and subscribe. Pound the like button. Get those likes up. We really appreciate everybody for watching the show and being a part of this. And remember also that all of your college football talk is brought to you by our good friends at Factor. And Factor has been a great sponsor for us on the show here, and they've really come through for us on Twitch. You can use the promo code FACTOR SE48328 and get 50% off your first box and wellness shots for life. That's Factor SE48328, and support the show and get yourself right at the same time. It's a great product, and they do a great job supporting us here on 0 to 60 on the Believe Network. So, look, as we continue to talk about college football, the NCAA stuff comes out tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of little tidbits being dropped. My boy Clint Oldenburg will be coming on the show here shortly to talk about all the ins and outs on NCAA 24. I told you Hunter was going to be on the cover, and he is. So that's going to be pretty cool. They're going to start dropping shit starting tomorrow on the new game. I'm running everybody off the sticks. I cannot wait. Look, it's pretty much the same as Madden, but it's college, and I don't know. I love the college football game way more than the Madden game for some reason. And I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? Are you a college, are you going to play more college football 24, or are you more of a Madden guy when it comes out? I'd love to get your perspective on that shit. So moving forward here, the NFL schedule is going to be dropping also this evening. So tomorrow we'll have a lot to talk about in that regard. But the NFL schedule, it seemed, look, a couple of the games have already been thrown out there. You know, the Jets and the Niners kick it off in Brazil. I think that was one of the games. Or no, they kick it off to start the season. But then, you know, there's a game in Brazil. There's a bunch of games in London. There's more games in Germany. I mean, they're going all over the world now to play, and they should. I mean, that's smart. It's an 18-game season. It's going to go to an 18-game season anyway, and that will allow them more travel. So, you know, players get ready to log some miles on those charter flights. But, yeah, man, I think it's cool to go, you know, interact with new fan bases and kind of expand the game. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm really excited about the schedule release in the NFL tomorrow, so that'll be good to talk about on the show then. And then either tomorrow or Friday, we're going to have now, you know, 4-star going on 5-star junior offensive line, Brett Coolj, who's a Valor product and a proud Dungeon family member, has been in the program since he was in 7th grade. Yesterday, Brett got, in one day, off the top of my head, Georgia Tech, Illinois, Maryland, LSU, Michigan, and then topped it off with Alabama last night getting offered. So, you know, this is why we grind at 6-0, bro. So my boy Breck, my hat's off to you. He's already has Georgia and Tennessee and Texas and Nebraska. Colorado hasn't offered him yet. But all these other schools has, and he's going to be a 5-star, and he's an absolute animal of a player and proud Dungeon family. I don't know how many times I've sent his information up to Boulder, but it doesn't seem to resonate. So he's offered by everybody in the country except for the school that's right up the street. So we'll see what happens there. But we're going to have Breck on the show, you know, either tomorrow or Friday to talk about this whole experience and everybody offering him and how you're supposed to make a determination between Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Nebraska, Michigan, so on and so forth. I'll tell you how. It starts with a C and ends with a H, and in the middle it's so, you know, cash is going to set the table here moving forward, and that's the way it should be. When you're a commodity, you're going to demand big bucks in this game. So, you know, I'm pretty excited for my boy Breck. This is why we grind at 6-0, so you can have opportunities like this. So we'll have him on the show on Thursday or Friday to talk about all this. And, you know, how in the hell he's going to make that determination, I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing. That bridge that we built for the young man sure did work. And this is why we grind. This is why people come here. This is why folks invest in the program and invest in the system and the distance program and everything else that we do, so you can absolutely dominate your opponents and live your dreams. So that's what we do at 6-0. That's what we do at 6-0 Equipment. We're all about building bridges. So, you know, some of you folks don't get it, and the majority of you do, and we sure do appreciate those that get it. A lot of folks chiming in about college football and the Madden games here. So definitely college. So it seems like college, everybody's going in on the college. And that, you know, that's pretty much the way I do too. From game over 7-14, the Chargers are the Super Bowl champs next year. Well, I don't know about all that. The Chargers are still going to charge her, even if Harbaugh is the coach. We'll see. You're going to have to win that one before I agree with that one. The Chargers are still the Chargers. So, you know, we'll see what happens with all of that. But look, a lot going on here in the wide world of sports, especially football. But we're in that lull period where, you know, things are changing, and, you know, there's a lot of moving parts and a lot of information is coming out, but it's all speculation time right now. And that's cool. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's what we get paid for. Eager to see the NFL schedule, you know, eager for the Nuggets to close out the Timberwolves and get ready to see who they're going to play here, either OKC or Mavericks, with a chance to go back to the finals and repeat. You know, eager for the rest of the schedule to get released here for the Buffs, see when they're going to play Colorado State, and, you know, I'd imagine the game day is going to either be in Lincoln or game day is going to be in Fort Collins. I'd imagine that would be like a no-brainer, right? You have to go to Lincoln. You have to go to Fort Collins. One of those two games have got to be covered by the big dogs, and you definitely want game day at one of those two. I would think that the better atmosphere will be Lincoln because it'll be sold out to the brim with Cornhusker fans, and there'll be a pocket of Buff fans. But if you want to see a takeover, the Buff fans that go to Fort Collins to take over the stadium for that game, because the CSU fans will fill up like a little tiny section, but let's be real. I mean, if they can't fill up their own stadium for their own team, they're going to have a hard time filling it up when CU goes there because all the Colorado fans are going to buy all the tickets. So I don't know. I think that both of them are probably going to be debated, but I'd imagine that game day will go to Lincoln, and then probably like Fox Big Noon or something. If it's not a night game, we'll take the CU CSU game, because it is a Mountain West stadium. So we'll see if it's on ESPN at night and it's just another game, or if they actually come out and cover it. So from FPSD, do you think there's a trend in hiring recently retired NFL players as position coaches? I think it's a transition. Yeah, absolutely. Do I think there's a trend in coaches being ex-players? Yeah, big time. Obviously. So 100%. I don't think it's a trend. I think it's the way it is. Like I guess that's what a trend is, but shit, man. I mean, that's like asking if like a guy who used to, fly fighter planes in a war is going to come back and be an airline pilot. Like most likely, yeah, that's what he does. So, ex-players coach. It's the way it works. So I don't really know how to answer that one, but yes is the answer. I'm going to go with yes. So, all right, folks. Quick one here today on a Wednesday show. Remember, go on Bet Online, check them out. Check out our friends at Factor. Check out everything at 60equipment.com. We appreciate everybody watching. We'll have Brett Coolidge on at some point the rest of the week. On Thursday or Friday, we'll be talking about the NFL schedule release and so much more as we wind up to this upcoming football season. So we appreciate everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe, download on Twitch and on YouTube. And remember, at 60 Academy all over social media. We just hit 260,000 on TikTok. I think we're 261 already today. We already got another 1,000 followers. So pretty cool. Make sure you check it all out. We really appreciate everybody. Have yourself a great day. And like always, go Buffs.